Walk through how line haul coordinators can receive the hook information back from the drivers for the trips that they are dispatching. We'll play this out side by side, where trip 426, as we see in the web application in the background, is a dispatcher who is sitting there waiting on the driver to hook the equipment and submit the information. And on the foreground of the screen, we see the mobile app, which is that driver who just received the instructions in the app. Those instructions tell the driver that once hooked, press the edit button to enter and upload the pre-trip and equipment details. The driver can already see the high-level details about the trip and what they're supposed to hook. Just as much information as you would expect, very similar to the hook slip, where we have the equipment details, but of course, if we look on the right side here, the seal number, for example, of course, is not shown to the driver, and that's what we're going to expect to capture. So I'll press edit. And from right here, the instructions are to press the camera icons to capture photos of each trailer detailed below, complete your pre-trip, and press update to submit it back to dispatch. So for this trailer, 83653, I'm going to press the camera icon first to capture the trailer itself. The crosshairs are intended to give the driver a target area for where to place the number on the trailer. So I'll go ahead and capture that. We have a live extraction of the text from the photo. So you're not just getting the photo, but you're getting some validation to ensure that the driver is hooking the right trailer. And the same goes for the seal. So we'll go ahead and press that icon, and I'll place the seal right in the middle of the crosshairs. We'll capture. If the driver finds that that the photo did not capture it correctly, they can come in here and override that before submitting it. And then finally, we'll go ahead and put in a dolly number. Now, right now, if the driver attempts to update up at the top right, you'll see it's gray, and they cannot submit this, but even if they try to, it's going to tell them of the errors before they can submit it. And it looks like right now there's two errors. One is, well, we need to sign our pre-trip. We haven't done our pre-trip yet. And the second, it's already telling us the dolly you've selected is red tagged. Please choose another dolly. So I'm going to go rehooked with a different dolly. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hook to dolly 23541. And now I'm just down to that one validation issue, which now I got to do my pre-trip. So I'll go ahead and review and select any defects. I'm looking down and okay, looks good, no defects. And now I'll go ahead and sign. Okay, all looks good. Everything passes validation for what I will submit to dispatch. I do have an option to ask dispatch for a locator map. That's what I can do at the very bottom. But I'll go ahead and press update here. Okay, I know where I'm going. And in that moment, that's where we do a blind validation of the seal that was captured by the driver and the seal that was entered in by the dispatcher from TMS. And so as we see that, we're already switched in the trip status to dispatch approved. The text is telling us you are ready for departure. Please have a safe trip. And even back at the home screen of the app, if I were to just come back here, there's a green dot that will tell me that you are dispatch approved. So at the gate with security, if I need to share some equipment information, some of the details, I can either hold this out or I can state the seal and trailer numbers to the security guard from a distance as I exit. But I'm given my instructions to leave. In the background, as we switch over here, you'll see that in real time, as this was submitted, that information flowed through to the dispatcher to be able to view on the screen. The trip status is automatically moved to dispatch approved. I have all of the information which already checked out. It matched what we were expecting to receive back from the driver. I have our photos, one of the trailer itself, one of the seal, along with those numbers that validated. We would actually have an indication in here if there was a validation error. You'll see right here that it's false. There's no validation error, which lines up with what we would expect. There's our pre-trip at the bottom. And now I'm going to go ahead and, as a dispatcher, I'm going to update this in TMS. I'm going to input what the dolly is and anything else I need to update. And at the point that I've completed the work on this dispatch, I can go ahead and process. And by doing this, this is going to move it out of my queue, out of my active purview of what I'm working through at my facility. And so as I click this processed, this will disappear from my screen, and it's reflecting this checkbox here, this filter, where I am telling this view that we are logged in as to only show me the trips to where they have not been processed. If I ever need to see ones that I did process earlier in the day or earlier in the week, then I can remove that filter, and then those trips would come back on the screen. If I were to click around the application, click back into trips, then it's the same starting point with those filters preset.